Metallic Silhouette Society podcasts are available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, and our iHeartRadio channel. Okay, we're back with another Silhouette Society podcast. This would be the spring 2024 edition. Back with another podcast after a little break. Sometimes I'm going to have to take a break. You just got to realize that this is not my job. My job is running a company, running a farm, and that takes up a lot of my time, especially in the springtime, with horses to feed, lambs to birth, all the different things that we have to do around here. It gets busy. But we're back. It's the start of spring, and in the northern hemisphere there is not much to do as far as silhouette goes during the winter. One fairly large indoor air rifle match, and that's really it. No other big events during the winter because it's cold up here. Not so cold where I am. I mean, today it's going to be a beautiful, I think, 78 degrees towards the end of March. It's nice. Love Tennessee. And you just got to realize that if there's a big gap in the podcast library, it's because this is just a hobby. And, everyone who shoots silhouette, we shoot it as a hobby, as a pastime. There's no such thing as people making money in this sport. It's just way too small of an operation. There's far too few people who do it. It's just not the way it works. It's all a hobby for all of us. We all have regular jobs, and that's just the way it is. So we're here doing the podcast where I do it just for fun, just to help people out. Just like, we shoot silhouette just for fun. It's a great sport. It's a great pastime. And now it's spring. It's time to get going. We've had our first matches of the year at the range at the event that I run every month. I went down and visited another one down in Memphis, which is just getting started. That has potential to maybe work into something. We'll see what happens. Decent range, decent group of people. And I think that's where we all are right now, is we're just either getting ready for our first matches, if they're in places that are a little bit colder, or we've shot our first couple of matches. We've realized how rusty and dusty we may be over the winter time. And a lot of what I do in all the podcasts are going to be answering questions that I get. I get tons of questions, either through emails, instant message, that type of thing. People just asking me how things work, for a sport that we try to promote. An awful lot of what we do is kind of a big mystery, and it's really difficult. There's quite a learning curve for people who have just started or just thinking about just the interest level, and we'll get into some of that later. There's a large interest level, and we as the society do not meet the expectations, or maybe, I don't know, not the expectations. We don't get the information out there the way we should. I mean, I do the best I can. Some other people do the best they can, but it's a little bit too little. For the amount of pent-up and possible people who would like to shoot silhouette. We don't do a good job all the time of bringing new people into the sport, and that's something we all have to work on. Whether we're a match director, whether we're just the average Sunday, Saturday shooter, We need to work on getting some of these people who may be interested and maybe shooting another sport and maybe looking into this, maybe trying something different, at least letting them show up and try. A lot of people, once they try, they're hooked anyway, so that works. Building the sport, folks, it's what we got to do. And now, so we go to one of these questions. How do I find a match? I mean, that's always the question is, how do I find a match? You need to sort of search out your local ranges, see if they have metallic silhouette. It's not everywhere. In Western Tennessee now, yeah, we have a few matches to go to. We have at least 3. So you can shoot 3 weekends out of the month, and that's pretty good. Not everywhere is like that. You're going to have to find out in your local area. If you're really enterprising and your local area doesn't have one, you can start one and hop on to the Society Facebook page, the group there, the Society private Facebook group, and we will help you. It's not that hard. The rules are reasonably simple. The rules are the same no matter where you are in the world, so it's always the same rules. And it's nice to have something that way that's stable and steady and it's always the same. There's not a different course of fire every month like there are in some shooting sports. You know what to practice for, you know how to practice for it. You can get really good if you actually practice, unlike me. So how to find a match. Later on in the podcast, I'm going to give you a little rundown of upcoming events that are posted, pinned to the top of the Facebook group. And these are going to be almost always the ones that we pin to the top are going to be more like your regional events, your national championships, that type of thing, just so people can find them. There's a whole world of monthly events that happen at your local gun ranges. Those you're going to have to look up. You're going to have to find a local calendar, that type of thing. You're going to have to dig a little bit, but still, again, we could always help you. Just ask those questions. If you ask those questions to the group rather than asking to me, you're going to get a wider range of answers. You're going to get a lot more geographic area rather than just texting or emailing me, and then I have to answer each one of those individual messages. I mean, you can have 5-10 people answer that message. You'll probably find things I'd never find. Local matches. You go to a local match. These are almost always held monthly, or in that type of format where it's monthly, every other month, that type of thing, a local match. You're going to shoot with a small group. It's going to be much more laid back at your small local match. It's a much better place to start than trying to start at a big event. We've all seen people try to do that. They show up to a regional, they show up especially at a national event, and they are just completely overwhelmed, and they're not always likely to stick with it. Because if you're not, if you don't have your match cadence down to where you're used to doing things in a certain pattern, a big match can mess up everybody, never mind just somebody who's brand new. So if you are brand new, not to shooting maybe, but brand new to silhouette, try to find those local matches, get them with a small group, start to shoot the target, start to hit some down, and then start to build your match day, your personal match day routine. Just like any sport, you get used to it and you get used to how things should happen. And that way, you're much more prepared when things maybe don't go exactly as planned. So it's spring. The weather's getting warmer. We can get out there. We can practice with our air rifles, build up our skills. Get ourselves back in the game, work on our fitness, which is one of those things I've been working on. Just trying to have the flexibility to assume the position of standing up and shooting silhouette. Mostly what I focus on, everything I focus on, And what I focus on as the Silhouette Society group is standing up and shooting offhand rifle silhouette. Don't know if I want to get into the controversial parts, but silhouette is shot standing up. There are some pistol games in silhouette where you assume a freestyle position. I don't know anything about that. Those guys they have their own groups. They can help you in their own groups. There is black powder silhouette where they shoot one set of animals standing and the rest from different positions. But again, they have their own group and they can help you with that. Neither of those things are my specialties. So it's springtime. We're getting our preseason readiness going. Someone specifically asked, what is my preseason readiness program? I don't have a standard preseason readiness program. I mean, I go out there and I start practicing. Before March, I probably haven't picked up the gun once or twice all winter, just because I take a break. I need to sort of take a break from all of it, walk away for a few months and just not even think about it. Because it's a hobby, I don't want it to rule my life. I have other things that I have to do. I'll do basic stuff now, this time of year, just make sure I can get into position, come down onto the target, squeeze the trigger without making a big mess, and actually hit a few things down. And as an example, we all get bad over the winter. Last weekend, I did my match. I don't concentrate on doing well at my own matches because if I'm running the match, I know I'm not going to do well. But I actually had a pretty good day for me. Then went the next day down to Memphis and had two of the absolute worst scoring matches of my life. But I still had fun. And that's one thing I need to do more often is probably travel to a few other places, shoot some small bore rifle. A lot of times when I'm traveling, I travel fairly locally, but they tend to be lever gun matches, small bore lever gun or pistol caliber lever gun, which I do for fun, but it's not my specialty. I really need to, if I'm going to travel to some of these local monthlies, I really probably should focus on the scoped rifle matches. But I've got several questions about this. What is my preseason readiness? Just, get out there and shoot, knock a few targets down. The more that you do it, it's like any other, muscle memory activity. You'll do bad for the first few minutes and then you'll start to pick it up. And you got to get used to just, the physical part of being able to lift the rifle, hold a position, stand there. Okay, you're going to put the rifle down. Now you're going to stretch your back. You got to do all those basic things that you have to do. The things that I haven't done all winter, because I've been doing things like chasing chickens and walking horses around. Let's see. All right, so we're in spring 2024. How is this season going to work out for a lot of people? I don't know. And when I say how is the season going to work out, I mean how is attendance going to be? People are asking. That's another thing. There's another thing to get into as match directors. We talk to each other a bit. What is the attendance going to look like? And I don't know because the economy kind of stinks, and there's no way to get around that. I think a lot of people have less travel money right now. I know in several regions, including my own, the concept of trying to find a decent hotel room is more difficult because hotels are being used for things to house people that they weren't normally housed for in the past. Even some of the better hotels, I should say, the slightly better hotels that we try to afford that aren't super expensive but aren't super cheap. A lot of those have been used for other reasons as other resources rather than what we used to just booking a hotel room and going. A lot of them are full all the time. So one of the things I think we should, as match directors, as members of the Silhouette Society, we should all look at helping people find and promote and have better regional events. Um, Now, the concept of a regional event is kind of not set in stone real hard as far as rules and regulations and what we call regional events. Um, but the slightly, the bigger than a monthly match, but it's not a national championship. That's a huge range of matches to put that into, but I think we can all agree that that's a regional event. Try to find these regional events. We should probably try to push some of our monthly shooters towards attending those regional events. Get off, once somebody's used to shooting that monthly event every month, get them off of your range, get them off to somebody else's range so they get that idea, that match day prep, knowing how matches go, how a bigger match goes, how they might have to be a little faster or a little quicker on getting to the line and having their equipment sorted out and that type of thing. They don't have an hour to warm up, usually, that type of thing. They have to be ready. And that way they learn, they can learn at regional events. They can watch how other people shoot in other places, how other match directors run their matches. And again, they're going to be in better shape when they do attend a national championship. All right, next section is, and this is strictly based on questions and commentary. All right, in our last portion of the Society podcast, before we go on to the upcoming event reports, and this is a question, comments that we have in the back channel discussions. And it's, what do I learn from the Metallic Silhouette Society Facebook page and YouTube channel? And okay, can go back quick to the history if you don't already know it. In the U.S., communications between us silhouette shooters became a little bit difficult, at least for newer people that needed to communicate, because there was a forum. It was very difficult to get onto as a new member, or almost impossible. It still exists. I don't know if it's really gotten any easier. It does not have a ton of traffic, but it does have some. It is a wealth of information. It's called Steel Chickens. Now, if you're a newer silhouette shooter and you want to go on to Steel Chickens, I can't guarantee that you can actually get on as a member, but you can get on and you can look at all the information, all the stuff that's on there. There's a decade worth of info on there, and it's really worth digging through some of the older posts. And there's a lot of static because it's, an old internet forum. So there's a lot of, people insulting each other and having a good time too. But you couldn't get onto it. I mean, I'm a member, I can get onto it, I can sign on, but a new member, it was years blocked up with people who weren't able to get on. So started a Facebook group just, as an afterthought. And now, over the last 9 years, it's just grown into something pretty big. I don't know of a bigger way for more people to get the information out about Silhouette to other Silhouette shooters than that Facebook group. 3,400 members right now. 848 subscribers on YouTube, for a small channel that occasionally makes videos about a very small sport. I mean, that's pretty good. When you consider both of those numbers, 3,400, okay, that's not that many people. On the big picture of American shooting sports, that's really tiny. But as far as, we capture an awful lot of the people who do shoot the sport. Not everybody uses Facebook, so I understand that. I don't blame you if you don't want to use it. I've tried to use other formats as well at the same time, just like I've tried to use other video formats. services like Rumble and those types of things, they get no traffic. I mean, there's no sense putting information up on a platform that gets no traffic. If nobody sees it, what difference does it make? So that's why I use Facebook. It's about the only thing I really use Facebook for. It's just for that one purpose of the Silhouette Society Facebook group, and that's it. But on any given day, we average about 1,000 people a day. So that's really good. That's, a little less than 1/3 of our total subscribers in a day, over the course of the last few months, our participation levels have gone way up, to where we're getting, they give everything in a 28-day period as far as looking over the numbers. And our traffic is like 2,900 of our members view the group in a month. That's almost everyone, which is really good. For Facebook groups, when your normal Facebook group, you're lucky if you get half the people in a month or a third. So the people who are interested in Silhouette are very interested and willing to tune in and willing to look at not very well prepared videos or that I make, or listen to a podcast. I mean, the podcasts, I really assume that no one would listen to them, and they're really one of the more popular things that I do, as far as getting people to tune in. It's kind of crazy. So the people who are the Silhouette may have a small amount of people participating, but the kind of people who participate are very passionate about what they do, which is nice. And when you compare these numbers, it's only 3,400 members. Yeah, great. But when you compare that to match attendance, where at a local monthly match, I mean, if you get 10 to 15 people, that's pretty big. So, there's, and the other thing, when you compare match attendance at a local monthly match to the amount of people posting on the Facebook group, asking questions, I think what we can look at from these numbers is there's a lot more interest in that people want to shoot Silhouette than there is actual Silhouette matches. And as the Silhouette Society, I think we need to work on bringing it, I'm going right back to where I started. We're not reaching the possible new people who want to come in and look at the sport. Because you have an awful lot of people looking to see what the news reports are and to see who's won the big matches and to see what kind of new equipment might be available by looking at the Facebook group. But the match attendance is not huge. So there's outliers where you have some monthly matches that get a ton of people, but usually, you get 10 people, that would be a great day, that type of thing. So all things we need to look at, all things we need to work on, food for thought. I'm going to put up a post on the Facebook group that has a lot more in-depth on the numbers. Me just saying it on a podcast, you're going to hear it. You're not going to have anything to go back and reference. I'll put it right up there so everybody can see it. If you're not a member, you should be a member. You got to answer a few basic questions. That just helps us root out the weirdos. And the next pod here will be upcoming match reports. And now the March edition of upcoming state, regional, and national Silhouette matches. In no particular order. There's a lot happening in May, and we'll just go through them as fast as I can. I hope that this helps some people. All of the information I read here, the details are on the Facebook group website. Go over into the file section, check the top bar for the pinned posts. You can download all of these entry forms and have all of the All the details at your fingertips over there on the Metallic Silhouette Society Facebook group. First up, in no particular order, May 25th through 27th, this is the California State and Regional Lever Gun Match in Salmar, California. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. North Carolina Small Bore Silhouette Championship is May 11th for small bore rifle, May 12th for small bore hunter. That's at Asheville Rifle and Pistol Club in Arden, North Carolina. May 25th and 26th in Jacksonville, Florida, the 2024 Sunshine Classic. That's at Gateway Rifle and Pistol Club in Jacksonville, Florida. That is small bore rifle and small bore hunter rifle. The Greg Sullivan Memorial Match 2024 edition. This is the Lever Gun State and Regionals in Benton, Arkansas at the Benton Gun Club. That's a great event down there. So if you love your lever gun, that's the place to be on May 17th, 18th, and 19th in Benton, Arkansas. The 2024 British Columbia Provincials at Bull River Shooters in Cranbrook, British Columbia. May 18th and 19th for the small bore event. May 20th and 21st for the high power event. And also in Canada, on June 30th through July 6th are the Canadian Nationals. That's at the Rosebud Silhouette Club in Calgary, Canada. July 2nd through the 6th are the Western Lever Gun and National Championships at Whittington Center in Raton, New Mexico. We did get a post earlier that is starting to fill up, so if you want to head over to Jim Luke's big lever gun event, make sure that you download that application and get it into him, and let him know what's going on as soon as possible, because they're already looking well over 100 people right now. I think they're up to 112. With that match, they're also holding the Western Open Sight Sporting Rifle Championship, and that is June 29th and 30th. That is a new event, up and coming silhouette mode, and that is June 29th and 30th. And in Ridgeway, Pennsylvania, the 2024 Small Bore High Power U.S. Nationals, the Small Bore edition is also the U.S. leg of the Monarch Cup. Small Bore warm-up match on July 27th, Small Bore Nationals July 28th through the 30th, and the high power events are August 1st through 3rd. Again, all of the real details for all of these announcements are in that Metallic Silhouette Society Facebook group. Head over there, head over to the file section to download your applications and see all the details and discuss it with the group. And I hope you've enjoyed this quick podcast episode from Metallic Silhouette Society. Find your local match. If you need to find a local match, get on there on that Facebook group and just ask. And get out there, stand up, and shoot silhouette.